Okay, so we want to figure out each of these functions. The book was only having us figure out the exponential function, but I want to kind of compare this to a linear function, so a straight line versus a curved line. So let's start with our linear function, which is y equals mx plus b, or f of x equals mx plus b. We need the slope and the y-intercept, right? When we look at this function, for each time we go up 1 in the x, right, these go up by 1. Every time those go up by 1, this goes down by 2. And if you remember, that is one of our definitions of slope, is the change of y, or the change in f of x, divided by the change in x. So our slope for this one would be m equals negative 2 over 1, which is just negative 2. Okay, and then the other part that we need from this graph is, what is our y-intercept? Our y-intercept is when x equals 0, so it's actually given to us in the table, because at x equals 0, f of x, or f of 0, is 8. So if we plugged in a 0 for the x, then we just get the b, and that, in this case, would be 8. So our final equation for this one is y equals negative 2x plus 8. Okay, and that would give us a straight line. Let's look at the other table, the exponential function table. And if we tried the same thing, right, 4 to 12, okay, so we add 8. 12 to 36, okay, now we add 24. 24 to 108, 36 to 108, that's like 64, 72. 108 to 324, that is 216. Okay. Yeah, right. So that it's not a constant number. You might notice though that if we were to go from 8 to 24, 8 times 3 is 24. 24, if we're adding, it's not going to work, right? But 24 to 72, that's a multiple of 3. 72 to 216, that's also a multiple of 3. What we did was multiply it by 3 every time. And actually, if we went back and did multiplication from the beginning, okay, we multiplied 4 times 3 gives us 12, times 3 gives us 36, times 3 gives us 108, and times 3 gives us 324. So we're multiplying by 3 every time. And remember that f of x in this case is in the form of ab raised to the x power. Our b is this common multiple. What is it that we're multiplying by each time to get from one to the next? Okay, and it should be constant as long as the change on the x is constant too. So we're multiplying by 3 every time, so that is our b value. So we know that it's a times 3 to the x. To figure out our a value, we just look at, well, what is f of x when x equals 0? Because remember, 3 to the 0th power, anything to the 0th power is equal to 1. And so if we plug in a 0, what is it times 1 that equals 4? Well, it's 4. So this is our a value. And so if we wrote this equation, f of x is equal to 4 times 3 to the x power. Okay? And that's how we're going to figure out these functions. And that was the wrong button. Yeah, we just need to figure out the common ratio. Okay, that's it for this one.